Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? So excited to be here on another episode of Dr. Sumner's Summit to Wellness. Super excited to have you guys join me. We are having a discussion that I think is quite worthwhile having. I'm not sure if you were aware of this, but May is National Mental Health Month. And I think it of major importance for us to be able to have a discussion about mental health. There are a number of ways that we can go about it, but today I wanted to specifically discuss some ways that you can effectively address your mental health without medications. Now, of course, that's not going to be possible for everyone, but it is certainly possible for a great majority of people, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. In addition to that, if you have questions, then this is a great time to chime in about anything related to mental health disorders, and we're going to get started. So if you have anyone that you think would benefit from this conversation, which is really pretty much everyone, because our mental health is a big part of our overall wellness. And so if your body's not doing well, your brain won't do well. And if your brain ain't doing well, then your body can't do well. So it's of uber importance for a great amount of people. So please share with your friends, your family, your loved ones. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Felicia Sumner. I am your board certified family medicine physician and wellness strategist. I break down the massive wall between doctors and patients and get to the root cause of disease. And I do this through my online health education platforms and my direct primary care practice opening on May 15th, guys, so that you can live your best life, because you deserve to be well, whole, energized, and loving life. So we're excited to have this conversation. If you or someone you know has struggled with depression or anxiety, or you've had the has your doctor ever suggested that you take, or someone you know takes pharmaceutical drugs? Those are medications such as Zoloft, Celexa, Wellbutrin. There's a whole slew of them, Lexapro. What have been your concerns about some of those medications? I'd love for you to share with me. If you're joining in, let me know. Just let me know, hey, hi, give me a wave, something, so I know you're here. Or if you're catching the replay, please type in #replay and let me know where you're joining in from. I am in the Philadelphia area, right outside of the Philadelphia area in Delaware County. Would love to hear where you guys are tuning in from. So let me know. Please comment. Have you been told about some of these medications that are typically prescribed for depression, and what are your thoughts about them? Do you have concerns about side effects? Have they helped? Did you find that exercise or diet or anything like that has helped with regards to improving mental health? Let me know what some of your techniques have been to stay well from a mental health standpoint. But today we're going to talk about 7 easy and effective tips to help improve your mental health, okay? So stay tuned. I also just need to remind you briefly of a disclaimer that as much as I truly enjoy to inform you and your loved ones about topics related to your health and wellness, this is not medical advice. This is for informational purposes only. So if you have any specific questions related to your individual diagnosis or treatment plan, then please, please, please discuss them with your doctor. And if you're in the states of Pennsylvania and Georgia and you'd like me to be your doctor, then please message me and we can make it happen. Okay, so now that the fun disclaimers are out the way, let's get started. We are going to go over 7 easy and effective ways to improve your mental health. Hi, Dr. Nicole. Thanks so much for joining in. So one effective way number 1 is address your potential B12 deficiency. Does anyone here that's tuning in have or know about a B12 deficiency? Have you heard of that before? Studies have actually shown that if you are deficient in vitamin B12, it can affect your mood. It can cause you to feel significantly more depressed. So if you are suffering from depression, especially mood swings here and there, you're more angry than usual, someone's commenting to you about that, it might be wise to get your vitamin B12 level checked. And of importance, a lot of times your vitamin B12 level is not very sensitive to actually check for that deficiency. So it's important to maybe also ask your doctor if they can check your homocysteine levels and or your MMA, methylmalonic acid, MMA levels, because that's a much more sensitive marker of vitamin B12 deficiency. For those of you who have opted to adhere to a vegan or a vegetarian diet, it's especially important for those folks because most of the B12 sources come from meat. Excuse me, if you are vegan or vegetarian, definitely you need to get that checked, especially if you are dealing with any form of depression, because depression could be a sign that you are deficient in B12. So these are things that I'm going to talk about, strategies that you might want to work towards if you are diagnosed with depression, if your doctor is going to start you on medication. Maybe consider taking this route if your depression is not severe before you start on medication, or do both. If you are not aware, the majority of medications that are out there that are prescribed for depression, they actually take about 6 weeks, if not longer, to really kick in. And that's if you're on the right dose. So if the dose is too low for you, it could certainly even take longer than that. So it is important that if you're diagnosed with depression, or someone you know or love is diagnosed with depression, that you take these other things into mind, that you consider these other strategies. Even if you are given a medication, it can take some time to kick in. And sometimes they don't work, or sometimes you have side effects that you can't tolerate. So that's why we're talking about other effective and easy ways to improve your mental health, even without medication. So one we just went over is vitamin B12. Get that level checked. Best way to do it is with a homocysteine and or an MMA level. Okay, number 2 is exercise regularly. But this is important. Studies actually show that there's a sweet spot for the amount of exercise you can get that will improve your mental health, because actually going beyond that sweet spot can in fact worsen your mental health. Does that sound like crazy to you, or is that news to anyone? Hi, Rosemary, thanks for joining. That's my cousin, good to have you. Because interestingly, I mean, have you ever seen this, like people who are like super runners and they run all the time, but they're super moody? It could be because of some hormonal imbalances that are occurring from them exercising too often. Believe it or not, that's what studies show. So the sweet spot for exercise that can improve your mental health is to exercise for 45 minutes for 3 to 5 days a week. If you go beyond this, if you're exercising, the studies show for 5 days a week, for more than 5 days a week, or more than 90 minutes per session, that has actually shown a link to worse mental health. So exercising in that sweet spot really can improve your mental health. 45 minutes for 3 to 5 times a week, okay? And there are all types of exercise that can improve your mental health. It doesn't necessarily have to be running on the treadmill. It could include mowing the lawn, doing housework, running around with the kids, going fishing. Those kind of exercises also have shown improvements in your mental health. But if you want to get the best bang for your buck, of course, and improve your cardiovascular health and lose the extra pounds if you need to, things like that, then of course team sports, cycling, going running, aerobic exercise, things like that, or are of the best benefit. So definitely exercise. Number 2, easy and effective way to improve your health, but be sure that you are in that sweet spot, 45 minutes at a time, 3 to 5 days a week. Hi, Dr. Kim, thanks so much for joining. Number 3, an easy and effective way to improve your mental health is make sure you get your thyroid levels checked. It is very, very common for if you are diagnosed with hypothyroidism, if your thyroid is low functioning, A common symptom of that is depression. So it's really important to get those checked, not only with a TSH level, which is the common standard test that most doctors will check, but for a lot of people, you may have a form of hypothyroidism that is hidden, and you might not you might not notice it from that test. So getting also a free T3, a free T4, and your thyroid antibody levels checked will help to better screen for any thyroid disorder. So that's number 3. Make sure that you do not have a thyroid disorder. Number 4, with regards to easy and effective ways to improve your mental health, you know I talk about this all the time, and I do because it's uber important, is your vitamin D levels. If you do not have your vitamin D levels checked, make sure that you do. It's linked to so many potential chronic illnesses: diabetes, heart disease, bone disease, cancers, and depression. So it's really important. I recommend that people get their vitamin D levels checked at least once a year, especially if you're in a cold area, in a cold climate. If you're darker skin tone, those are definitely reasons to get it checked. Or if you're suffering, for example, from depression. So the way we check that is with a 25 hydroxy vitamin D test. And that's the standard test that most doctors will use to check for your vitamin D levels. And your levels should be over 50, okay? If it's lower than that, then it's important to take a vitamin D supplement, and you can talk with your doctor about the right dose for you. Most people who are deficient need to take at least 2,000 units of vitamin D3 a day, okay? And certainly, like I said, ask questions along the way if you have any. That is number 4. So number 5, easy and effective way to improve your mental health is address your omega-3 intake. A lot of studies have shown that if you're deficient in omega-3 fats, that it can lead to depression, feelings of lower or sad mood. And it's likely that most of us are deficient in omega-3. Studies so far are showing that we're probably about 99% of Americans are deficient in omega-3s. And the way to help improve that, you can certainly get it tested. I'll be frank, most traditional doctors' offices don't usually have a way to really figure that out. So considering that 99% of Americans are probably deficient, it probably won't hurt you to just eat more omega-3s. The best ways to do that is you can increase your intake of wild salmon, sardines, things like that, chia seeds, or take a fish oil supplement. Those things can increase your omega-3 fatty acid intake. So we talked about so far 5 of those 7 easy and effective ways to improve your mental health. 1 is address your vitamin B12 level. 2 is getting exercise regularly, but make sure you're in that sweet spot of 45 minutes a day, or 45-minute sessions, 3 to 5 days a week. Number 3 is test your thyroid levels. Make sure you're not deficient in thyroid or hypothyroid. Check for vitamin D deficiency is number 4. And number 5 is increase your omega-3 intake. Number 6, which I'm sure most of us know, but we don't always address, is get enough sleep. There are a lot of studies showing that terrible sleep can contribute to worsening depression. So aiming for 7 to 8 hours of solid, uninterrupted shut-eye every night can make a massive difference. In fact, there was a study that showed that getting one, this is crazy, but getting one good night of sleep was equivalent to, losing one good night of sleep was equivalent to eating badly for 6 months with regards to the improvement of your physical and mental health. So sleep is super important. Let's just leave it at that. If you are having difficulty sleeping, please, please, please address it with your doctor. I've had specific experiences with my patients where I got them sleeping better and things just fell into place. Their blood pressure got better, their diabetes got better, their mood, of course, got better, their sex got better. So a lot of things can improve when you are sleeping well. So definitely, if that's an issue for you, please get that addressed, okay? So that's number 6, easy and effective way to improve your mental health. And share with me again, guys, are you doing any other special techniques to help keep your mood up? I'd love to hear them. Share them with me. Share them with our community. It would be super helpful. Number 7, easy and effective way to improve your health is address if any of your hormones are out of balance. And of course, it's tough for you to know that. So talk with your doctor if you're at risk for that. For example, if you have diabetes or pre-diabetes, it is likely that you are insulin deficient. That actually studies have shown can impact your mood and cause depression. If you are imbalanced in your cortisol or stress hormone levels, that can lead to depression or contribute to depression. Certainly if you're dealing with menopause, that can also cause symptoms of depression. So address those hormone imbalances, talk with your doctor as to what might be helpful for you to get tested and figure out what hormones might be out of whack. We talked about the thyroid hormone. Vitamin D is actually a hormone. So we talked about insulin as well, cortisol. So a way to help balance out these hormones naturally without even getting them tested immediately is to eat whole, real, unprocessed foods in your diet, and combine that with good lifestyle factors like managing your stress, getting good amount of sleep. All of those things are super important. Believe it or not, your brain is actually about 60% fat. So it's ketones. I don't know if you heard of that before, but fat, that's the major fuel for your brain. It's the preferred fuel for your brain. So I often recommend and advocate for eating a diet that's actually pretty full of healthy fats. Because that's the best fuel for your brain. It makes sense if your brain is made of about 60% fat, that eating plenty of healthy fats, including the anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids in wild salmon and sardines and mackerel, and healthy protein, that can help to heal your brain and improve your mood. Cutting out sugar, that makes a big difference with regards to your insulin hormone imbalance. If you've ever eaten something sugary, right, and you crashed a little later and you felt like super miserable, you know how sugar can contribute to depression. So studies, they confirm that sugar consumption, it can contribute to depression. So become a detective. Find out what your hidden sources of sugar are and work on, improving on that. So those are the 7 easy and effective ways that I think. There are plenty more, but I don't want to keep you guys on here forever. I'm trying to do better at keeping these things a little shorter. Easy ways to improve your mental health. We talked about 1, check if you've got a B12 deficiency. 2, exercise regularly in that sweet spot. 3 is get your thyroid levels checked. 4 is check if you have a vitamin D deficiency. That could play a huge role. 5 is, for most people, increase your intake of omega-3 fatty acids. And 6, get enough sleep, 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. 7 is check if you have any hormonal imbalances like insulin, cortisol, estrogen, things of that nature. Okay, so if these natural techniques are not doing the trick for you, that is okay. Do not give up hope. That's what your doctor is here for. Your doctor should be your partner in your health, including your mental health. So if you feel that you're suffering from depression, from anxiety, from a lower mood, do not suffer alone. That is a major, major situation that should not be ignored. Depression, when left untreated, can literally become deadly. So it's of great importance for you to address that with someone that you can trust and have confidence in. And if you don't have that kind of relationship where you feel that you can bring those kind of things up with your doctor, I would personally recommend that you find someone that you can have that kind of relationship with. Because again, untreated depression could be deadly. So if you are at risk for suicide or other harm or injury, please do not try to treat it on your own. There is help. Seek professional help, okay? call 911, God forbid, if you are considering suicide, or seek other help, such as a hospital or an emergency room or your doctor's care. There are help hotlines, 1-800-SUICIDE. It's of great importance for you and your loved ones, if you know someone suffering from depression, to get the help that they need, because you deserve to live your life to the fullest potential, and no one or nothing should get in your way of doing that, okay? But what questions do you have? I hope that this information has been helpful for you. I do want to continue to provide you guys the best online health education that I can through these platforms. And I wanted to also share with you guys a couple of announcements. You might have seen a post about this. I'm super excited. I've really enjoyed being able to share my knowledge with you along the way as we do these weekly Facebook Lives. But I know I can't do it alone. As a family medicine doctor, I know a good amount of stuff, but I'm not a specialist. And there are some things that I just can't, I personally can't handle everything. I can't know everything. There's just too much to know about the human body and about everything related to the human body. God made us in such intricate ways. So with all that being said, I've teamed up with an amazing group of women, hashtag Black Girl Magic, actually, amazing group of female physicians who they're just all wonderful, and the five of us together are going to be a part of a radio show that is going to start next Monday, every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. We will be on the Source Media Network through Facebook Live, podcast, YouTube, a whole bunch of ways, and we will definitely get that information out to you of how you can tune in. But we are presenting to you our show called The Real RX, Real Talk, Real Doctors, Real Problems. So if you have questions that you want asked, this is a great time to tune in, ask your questions. We're going to just talk to you like we're sitting in the living room and letting you know what you want to know about ways to improve your health. So we've got myself, I'm a family medicine physician, as you know. We've got Dr. Nicole Rochester. She's a pediatrician in the Maryland area who's also an amazing healthcare advocate. She is the expert at providing ways to those who are caring for their loved ones to be able to navigate the healthcare system in a much more effective manner. We've got Dr. Anika Goodwin. She is a superb ophthalmologist. She has her own ophthalmology practice via telemedicine. She serves patients throughout the entire country, nationwide, and she's just amazing. And she's in the North Carolina area, so she'll be on the show as well. We've got Dr. Sandlery Gordon. She is the best OB-GYN in America, I have to say, and she's in the Maryland area, and she's going to talk to us about anything related to maternal health and OB-GYN stuff. And we've also got Dr. Kimberly Brown, who's our favorite emergency medicine physician, and she's going to talk about plenty of ways to keep you guys out the ER, and if we can't keep you out the ER, how to handle your visits in the ER the very best. So an amazing dynamic team that I'm really excited to introduce to you guys and share with you. So please, please, please tune in. So excited to have you guys tune in with us. So we'll put out plenty of information about ways that you can tune in with us starting next Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So join us. But do you have any other questions? Really excited again to share this with you. Cynthia's on. Thanks so much for joining, Cynthia. Hi, Nina. Thanks for joining. So again, we talked about 7 easy and effective ways to improve your mental health. And also one other announcement. So we've decided things are going great with enrollment for the direct primary care practice that we're opening in Lansdowne. Join the movement, guys. This is our way of providing care in the realest way we can, so people can develop a legit relationship with their doctor and get the right kind of access and value out of their relationship that you deserve, because you deserve the very best care. We're opening up the first direct primary care practice in Lansdowne, Pennsylvania, and Delaware County, PA. But we had a special that we were running up until May 1st. If you joined before May 1st, there is a $100 lifetime enrollment fee that we were waiving. You could join for free. We've decided to extend that till at least until the day we open, which is May 15th. So for those of you who have been on the fence, you got to talk to your wives, talk to your husbands, talk to your mamas and papas and whoever else to make your decision. We're going to give you about another 2 weeks to figure it all out. So we're extending that deadline for free lifetime enrollment, $100 value, as a gift again to you for becoming some of the early adopters in our practice. If you have questions, we are here for you. So any other questions? We appreciate, again, you guys tuning in. Thanks so much. It's been a pleasure chatting with you as usual. I'll recap again for those of you who are just joining. We talked about 7 easy and effective ways to improve your mental health. 1 was if you've got a B12 deficiency, check if you do. It's important. 2 is exercise regularly in that sweet spot. 45 minutes sessions, 3 to 5 days a week. 3 is get your thyroid checked. 4 is check if you have vitamin D deficiency. 5 is eat more omega-3 fatty acids. 6 is get enough sleep because it helps with a lot of things we talked about. And 7 is check if you have any hormonal imbalances. And if that is not enough with regards to natural methods, then please, 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 you need to talk to your doctor, because there are ways to get help, and it's of a lot of importance because depression can be deadly, and you deserve to live the very best life that we want you to be here for. So thank you again for tuning in. Please share this with anyone else that you think would benefit from this information. Again, I'm Dr. Felicia Sumner. I'm your board-certified family medicine physician and wellness strategist. I break down the massive barrier between doctors and patients so that you can be empowered to live your best life. I do this through my online health platform and through my direct primary care practice. So you deserve to be well, whole, energized, and loving life. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.